Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Monroe from Middlebury, nearing the end of the collector's tour here in the fall of 2024. I'm actually at my last mountain collector, or at least the last one in the order that I happen to be doing them this year. This is Dust 9 in the Wasatch Mountains outside of Salt Lake City, up at the head of Little Cottonwood Canyon. It looks a little bit different, setting immediately or surrounding me compared to any of my other mountain deployments. And that's because this collector was intentionally located at the same position as a whole bunch of other snow monitoring equipment in what's known as the Atwater Study Plot, a long-term site for snow science, and more recently, a really important site for the work of my University of Utah colleague, Mackenzie Skiles, and her PhD student, Otto Lang. They're studying dust on snow and what the effects of dust accumulation on the snow surface are. That might seem a little bit like an odd thing to dig deep into, but it's hugely important, not just in a landscape like this, which is so famous for its skiing, but in any part of the world where the populations are reliant on snowmelt coming down from the mountains as a water source. Turns out that snow is pretty much the brightest or most reflective natural substance. And you know this intuitively if you've walked outside on a sunny winter day after it has just snowed. There's almost nothing that reflects more light back than snow does. But if you put even a small amount of dust on the snow and concentrate that dust on the surface, then everything changes. The snow becomes darker, it absorbs more sunlight, it heats up faster, and therefore it melts faster. This is a big deal in places that are programmed to try to trap every drop of water coming downstream and use it for generating power or for irrigation or for communities. The reservoirs are all sized to kind of deal with the amount of water that's going to come down on the mountains in a normal year at the rate at which it normally comes down. But if it melts faster than usual, melts earlier than usual, if the melt itself is just a shorter period, then it almost doesn't matter whether there was more snow or less snow. There might just be too much water to deal with downstream. Amazingly, what they've shown in this site here is that the snow or the dust in the snow here in the Wasatch in some recent winters has taken almost 3 weeks off what would have been the duration of the winter snow cover. It's making that ultimate meltout day in the spring or early summer happen roughly 3 weeks earlier than it otherwise would in the absence of the dust darkening the snow surface. So a lot of interesting science going on here, similar to the Dust 18 site, where I put my collector near the weather station maintained by folks from BYU. It made sense in the early days of the Dust Squared project to put one of my collectors here, where so much other work on dust in the snowpack was going on simultaneously. So with that, I'm going to get to work emptying Dust 9. Thanks for listening, as always. Thanks to the town of Alta for permission to deploy the collector here, as well as to the University of Utah. And thanks to the National Science Foundation for supporting the Dust Squared project.